Before we start this video, I just want to let you all know that you honestly and truly deserve better. You deserve the very best out of this life, and placing boundaries is only going to help you get to the things that you deserve, okay? Placing boundaries does not make you selfish. It does not make you a bitch. It does not make you mean. It makes you you. It helps you get to your true essence. It helps you get to your true nature, and it helps you to love yourself better. You deserve better. So let's jump into this video, baby.
Thank you.
Y'all already know what time it is. You are now tuned in to Talking Ish with your girl, KK, aka Glam Soul, working on being both beautiful on the outside and beautiful on the inside, honey. Today, I got some real life tea for y'all, honey. This is life tea. Life tea. Hashtag life tea. I'm not playing with y'all. Cause what are we doing? What are we doing? Healing all 2020. So today, I am coming to y'all. You wanna know what we're talking about today? We're talking about boundaries. Boundaries. What are boundaries? Boundaries, a point or a limit where things become different, where things are divided, when things are separated. It's a border. Your life will change once you get boundaries. You feel me? It's where you cut off the limit. So today we're gonna talk about establishing your boundaries and enacting them. That's what I want you all to learn, because your life will change once you start putting yourself first. Step number 1, observe yourself. So I need you to, when I say observe yourself, I mean watch yourself. You have an inner self, you have an outer self, you have a spirit, you have an ego. Okay, so your ego is extremely judgmental. It has a certain image of what you should be. And when you do not follow that image, it criticizes you, it's mean to you, it's negative to you, it judges everybody else around you. Everybody's ego is different and it affects everyone differently, but these are like the basics of the ego. So your ego is not you. I know it's difficult, really too difficult to explain. It's more so difficult to really understand because you are born with the ego, so you really think it's you. I think the ego is really just the flesh. I don't know if God put that in us to trick us. Not to trick us, but to challenge us, you feel me? So that this life wouldn't be so easy. You have to learn how to shut your ego out. You either, learn to coexist with your ego, or you literally just watch your ego. You just watch it. Like, it says certain things and you don't even respond to it. You don't attach to it. You don't cling to it. You just take note. So that's what I need you to do with yourself. Number 1, observe yourself. Observe your patterns. Observe your triggers. What triggers you? What makes you feel a certain way? What causes you to feel negative emotions about yourself? What is it that happens? Is it when you betray yourself? And when I say betray yourself, is when you go against what your spirit wants. If you know that you are not supposed to do something, or you don't feel comfortable doing it, but you do it anyway to please others or to please your ego, then you end up feeling really, really bad about it, or you don't feel the best about it. You don't feel the best about yourself afterwards. That's betraying yourself. And a lot of us do that in love. We go against things that we know are right because we love someone. Just a brief example, just something basic. Let's say say if you're with a guy who doesn't have a job or something like that, and it's like, you know that he should have a job, you know that he should be helping you with bills or with your life or building a life with you, but he doesn't have a job. And it's like, but you keep making excuses for him. Oh, his life was this, it was difficult, it was da-da-da-da-da. Whatever, whatever excuse that you come up with because you love this person so much, you are betraying yourself. So therefore you start feeling bad about yourself, because it's like, why am I putting up with this? And I know that I'm not supposed to be putting up with it. You cannot control other people. The only person that you can control is yourself. The only person whose outcomes and whose decisions really matters are yours, nobody else's. And when somebody's priorities are not aligning with yours, then you need to learn how to set boundaries. And you do have to set boundaries not only in relationships, but with your family members too. With your family members, with coworkers, with lovers, anybody. You have to set boundaries. You have to protect yourself. So boundaries protect you. It allows you not to constantly betray yourself. It allows you to, become more loving to yourself. You love yourself more. You value yourself more when you have boundaries. If you say, hey, listen, when you start talking to me a certain type of way, I'm not going to talk to you because I do not like the way it makes me feel. I'm betraying myself by constantly sitting here talking to you, listening to you bash me, or when you start raising your voice, it makes me feel extremely negative. So when you start yelling, when you start acting crazy, I'm hanging up the phone. You feel me? Or I'm not going to talk to you for 2 days. That's boundaries. It's not you being mean. It's not you being a BITC. You know what I'm saying? It's not you being any of that. It's you protecting yourself. Boundaries literally protect you. It's a limit that you will not go past because you know how it will make you feel. Period. So in order to start establishing boundaries, you need to first understand what you need, where you need to place these boundaries. So you have to observe yourself, your surroundings, what happens to make you feel negative about yourself. What do you betray yourself? How do you betray yourself? You know what I'm saying? Just observe yourself. Observe your patterns. Like, damn, when this happens, then this happens, and this happens, and this happens. And you may not know off that. So that's what I'm saying. You have to sit and observe yourself. And that's the key to meditation. That's what meditation is. And at first, when you meditate, your mind becomes more turbulent. And you start feeling like it's not working, this is crazy, your mind is going crazy. But listen, after a certain amount of time, your mind will become still. Your ego will quiet. Because when you're not constantly responding and reacting and, oh, get up, this is stupid, oh, da-da-da. When you're not attaching to those thoughts, because not all of those thoughts are your thoughts, your mind becomes quiet, and then you can just observe yourself. Observe your thoughts. Like, damn, why do I think that way? Why do I do certain things? Observe your patterns. Like, I'm telling you, look into your childhood as well. Childhood plays a lot with the things that we will put up with. You know what I'm saying? The things that we, the things that we do. The reasons why we feel the way that we feel. So, for example, I'll give you all something about me. So, growing up, I was very, very prone to pleasing people. I wanted, my family to be happy. I wanted them to be proud of me. And, I wanted them to love me. And they loved me. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when people get upset or when people yell at you, like, it makes you feel a certain type of way about yourself, especially as a child. Because children, we are sensitive and we are figuring ourselves out, figuring our emotions out. We are sponges. And, everything happens we take things very deeply. So I was a people pleaser. So as I grew up, I was a people pleaser. I still wanted to make people happy. I wanted to fix people. I wanted to save people. I wanted to make everybody else's life better. But it kept constantly happening at the expense of me, the expense of Kiki. You feel me? Kiki was getting sad if somebody else was sad and I couldn't do something to make them feel better about themselves. And I know it's sad, but it's okay because Kiki has boundaries now, baby. So listen, if you're not trying to help yourself, Kiki is not trying to help you, period. On to number 2. So once you observe these boundaries, you need to start setting these boundaries. So you need to start writing them out, expressing them. You can start giving people a little pre-warning.
Talking on the phone like, listen, you know what? When people start yelling at me, when people start acting crazy, I'm just not even going to talk to them. No, because you know what? I can't take it no more. I'm done with it. Like, if niggas want to start yelling at me, I'm just going to hang up the phone.
And then old boy or old girl or your mom, your dad, whatever, could be like, Then they're going to take it into their head like, wait, hold on. She said that when people start yelling at her, she going not talking to them for 2 days. Some people may take that as a challenge. And the people that take that as a challenge, you just have to prove them wrong. You have to prove them wrong. You literally have to stand firm. You have to stand firm in your boundaries. You cannot waver. You feel me? And listen, sometimes slip-ups will happen. Sometimes you will fall into an old pattern. I don't want you to beat yourself up. I don't want you to think this is the end of the wheel. You messed up, this and that. Listen, you just get back. You just get back on the wagon. So if somebody was to yell at you when you stayed on the phone with them, listen, the next day, just make now we're gonna move forward. We're not gonna continue to do that. I kind of went into the third one already, which is really standing firm in them. This is my stand firm in your boundaries. This is how you will have a better relationship with yourself. When you start doing the things that make you happy, the things that satisfy your core, you start to get in tune with your true essence. And our true essence is love. It is compassion. You know what I'm saying? It's non-judgmental. It's not fearful. It doesn't feel like anybody is above you or below you. It doesn't feel like any of that. You just love yourself and you're just living in the moment. You're just being, and you're just doing whatever it is that makes you happy in that moment. When you have boundaries, I'm telling you, your life will get so much better. It will get so much easier. You won't have as much mental turbulence because you aren't constantly betraying yourself. You're standing firm in it and yourself is going, damn, we love us. Okay, we love us. When somebody start yelling at us, we cut them off. And then you know what? And I promise you, because this has happened with family members, this has happened with exes, this has happened with cousins, anybody. Everybody knows now you are not going to talk to me any type of way you want to talk to me. If you feel like you want to talk to me a certain type of way, I am not going to respond to you. I do it with people, my residents, where I work, everything. If you're going to talk to me, if you're going to talk to me in disrespect, I'm not going to entertain you. I'm not going to engage in a conversation. I'm going to just, that's fine. So, but it's not going to affect me. I'm not going to engage with you. I'm not going to be arguing with you. I'm not going to be letting you get me out of my true essence, out of my true nature. And listen, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm perfect. You know, I have my slip ups, you know what I'm saying? But I just get right back on the wagon. I don't constantly judge and condemn myself anymore. And myself and I, we have such a better relationship now. We love each other so much that we don't let anybody disturb our peace. And that's what boundaries are going to help you to do, to not let anybody disturb your peace, so that you can stay in your the essence of your true nature, so that you can start manifesting. And that's what we're going to start talking about more on this channel as well. So you can start manifesting things into your life. So you can start manifesting good people. You can start manifesting better situations, better opportunities. This is how you level up, okay? Boundaries. That's like the first step to really having a better relationship with yourself. Do a little recap. So number one, we are going to observe ourselves. We are going to observe our patterns. What triggers us, what happens when we betray ourselves, how do we betray ourselves? And we are observing this. We are taking note of this. We are not judging ourselves. We are not getting mad at ourselves. We are not condemning ourselves. We're just taking observation so that we can move forward. Number two, we are establishing these boundaries. Okay, so boom, now I know what triggers me. Now I know what makes me feel a certain type of way. Now I know when I betray myself. So these are the boundaries, blah, 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 blah. Number three, we are standing firm in our boundaries. We are not wavering them. Like I said, you may have your times when you fall off the wagon. It's okay. Pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and you move forward. You feel me? My best friend has this statement where she says, F up, regroup. So you know what? You F up, it's okay, but you got back on the horse, you got back on the wagon, and you regrouped. Because at the end of the day, it's not always about the fall. It's how you get back up. You understand? Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Like, you understand? Like, life is a process. It is a journey. Nothing is going to happen overnight. It's never going to be 100% perfect. Even the most peaceful of people may have their moments where they snap. The more you practice it, the better you will be at it. The more you establish and stand firm and enact these boundaries, the better you will feel about yourself. Because you say, I don't deal with that. When somebody starts acting a certain type of way, I do not deal with that. And I promise you, I have seen it happen in my life. People will treat you differently. They will not talk to you crazy. They will watch what they say to you, or whatever your boundary is. I'm just, giving my personal example, because one of my main things was how people talk to me. You're not going to talk to me any type of way that you want to. Because I was the type of person that would snap at you. I'm going to snap back at you, and I'm going to say something really ugly, and it's going to really cut you to the core. And then later on, I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to be like, damn, why did I do that? I feel bad hurting people. I'm an empath, you understand? So I feel other people's emotions. That's why it's easy for me to relate to people, easy for me to connect with people, easy for me to talk to people. But as an empath, one of my boundaries I had to learn as well is to limit my energy with people. Because when I do keep spending a lot of time with people, I kind of take on their energy. I make their stress my stress. I make their problems my problems. And I had to learn how to stop doing that. So I had to start limiting the time that I spend with people. So that's just more personal examples. But yes, so we are observing our patterns, we are establishing these boundaries, and we are standing firm in them. So do not forget, we are healing all 2020. Comment down below a boundary that you feel as though you are going to enact this year and you are going to stand firm in it. Do not forget to add me on Instagram at the.glandall. You can follow me on Twitter at _Kia Sophia. I love you guys. And if nobody's told you that they love you today, I do. Make it a great day. Bye.